to another episode of Conversations in the Den, where we try to inspire survivors. Um, Here's my co-host Jennifer Wolfenden, and today we will be interviewing Gabrielle Turpin. Gabrielle,
Hi.
go ahead.
Welcome, Gabriella. Welcome. I know you want us to call you Gabby, so welcome, Gabby.
Thank
And
you very much.
thanks for joining us. I know we're not seeing your video, and there's a reason for that, but we're just really glad that you can join us at least by phone.
It's my pleasure.
So, Gabby, you are 23 years old, and tell me, what is Hoff's fat pad? What's that? Explain that term to me, because I don't know what it is, and I don't think our viewers know what it is. It's called Hoff's fat pad.
So basically, it's where the patella is located, which is the cap on the knee. And there's an instability with that pad in the kneecap. And basically, it's making me dislocate my knee often, which makes that my ligament can't hold my kneecap anymore.
So tell me about.
How long have you had that?
For about 7 years now.
Wow.
And is this something that happens to a lot of people? Are you alone? Are you the only person that this happens to?
So it's not normal for people to have that much instability, but I have an hyperflexibility with my ligament, which makes my knee prompt to dislocate.
Did something trigger this?
Yes, so I had an ankle injury about 10 years ago, and I have dislocated my knee, but they never really saw it for 3 years until I fully dislocated it. So it damaged the knee, and now it's keep getting worse. So that's why I'm getting surgery in about a month or two.
And so this would be a transplant.
Yes, exactly. So they can't take my own ligament because they're too flexible. So basically, I'm getting a donor ligament, and they're gonna reinforce the patella with the ligament.
And and this is something that's successful. Is that correct?
Should be, yes.
Okay, it's been done before. It's a surgery that's been done before.
Yes.
Okay, and Gabby, tell me about mild dysplasia. What is that? What does that mean?
Well, basically, it's just a discomfort with the knee because it keeps moving, and basically, it's just a discomfort that's always present. So whatever I'm doing, so if I'm sitting, if I'm sleeping, there's that pain coming in the knee.
Oh, so it's mostly a pain. It's not affecting your walking? It's just really painful?
Yeah, well, it used to affect my walking because I couldn't bend the knee fully for a while because I had, I have edema between my kneecap and my other bones, but I had so much inflammation that I couldn't bend my knee fully. But now with physio, it got fixed, and that works. But there's just pain at all time in addition to that.
So tell me,
I have a girlfriend from high school who has always had knee problems for years, since high school days. Whew, sorry. And we're in our 50s now.
Poor girl.
She's always complaining about her knee.
Oh, probably. Honestly, it's the worst. I had injuries everywhere, but the knee, it's the worst as of now.
And how long have you been dealing with this, Gabby?
7 years, yeah.
You're 23 years old. You've been dealing with this since you were 16. Tell me about how has that affected your life? Because at 16, you're in high school. There's sports. Your friends are going out. They're hopping into cars. They're hopping fences. They're rock climbing.
Well, honestly, I think that one of the worst part about when it happened when I was 16 is that I was actually it's the first time I dislocated my knee and it caused pain. I was supposed to go to a party that weekend, and I was in crutches and couldn't move. So my mom refused that I could go to that party. And I remember I was so sad because, high school and parties and just want to fit in and all
You
that.
party and just sat down.
Yeah, but it was not an option for my parents. So I stayed home, and I was kind of sad because everyone was sending me pictures from that party. But from still that time, it kind of affected because I do I do alpine skiing and I do golf. And
Okay, so you can ski.
well, I can with a brace, and I can't ski like I used to. Like before that, I used to go a little bit faster and be a little bit more careless. But now I need to be more careful, make sure that I don't hurt myself, because I know that if it just pops out again, like I need a full knee surgery, which I kind of don't want at this time. So
It's funny because at times when we think about like I signed my organ donor card, but when we think about organ, sorry for yawning. And when we think about organ donation and things like that, we don't think about those little ligaments that people could possibly use.
honestly, I didn't even know you could donate those until I went to the doctor about a month ago, and he told me I needed a ligament donor. I was like, oh, really? You can get a donor for that? And
Wow.
yeah,
Now, can you get a living donor for that?
yeah, it doesn't have to be a living donor. It can be from a cadaver, but it has to be like a certain time span until they can do the grafts. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So tell me, Gabby, how has this affected your life? I think I'm thinking that life is different in the last 7 years, but how different is it from another person your age for the past 7 years? How have you seen the marked difference between you having to deal with this injury for 7 years?
Well, it's different when it comes to activities mostly. So some of my friends are going to do more like um, activities like rock climbing or just climbing a mountain or anything like that. And honestly, it's actually not letting me do those activities just because I
Mm-hmm.
know there's a
Fear to
risk of
be.
me hurting my knee, and I just don't want to do that. So sometimes I just have to step out just to make sure
So
that
how do you get exercise?
it's with physio. I have specific exercise. So basically, I do a stationary bike, but I can do full turns because it can hurt the knee. And then
Mm-hmm.
it's basically just exercise with rollers and things like that that can activate my ligament just to reinforce them of what's left of them, basically.
Okay.
Okay. What about dating? Are you dating?
No, I'm single right now.
Does this affect your dating?
It does not affect my dating itself, but I can just say that when it comes to relationships and sex life and all of that, it can slightly impact because I can't stay on my knee for too long. So let's say you're doing things, sometimes it can impact that because I can't just be like on my two knees for more than a minute because it's just going to start hurting.
That's okay. Tell him to get on his knees.
Are you able to walk at all?
Yes, I do walk. Right now, I have a brace that's specific for patellar instability, but I need to wear it at all time, which can sometimes be. It kind of brings a discomfort because by the end of the day, let's say I work for 8 hours and then I keep the brace the whole time, and then when I start driving again, like I would probably take it off, but I know it's better if I keep it on just to make sure that the stability of the knee stays where it
But
should
you
be.
don't have to sleep with it on.
No, I don't sleep with my brace. No.
Oh, okay.
And Gabby, what is the diagnosis? Is it patellar instability? What is the medical term for what you suffer with and you're trying to overcome?
It's a patella instability, and which is also related to my over flexibility of the ligaments. So basically, it's two diagnoses into one. So basically, because I have that over flexibility, um, I have that patellar instability because of my ligaments.
I understand. I understand now. And I overheard you saying that you work.
Yes.
Can you share a little bit about that? Can you take any job, or do you have to be specific in what kind of jobs you accept?
At first, I would take any jobs because I was like, okay, it hurts, but at the end of the day, I'm just going to be sitting. I'm going to put some ice, going to took some Tylenols and things like that. But now, since my last injury, which was from this summer, um, I actually have to be sitting at all times. So now I'm actually looking for a new job, and I'm looking for something that's going to
Yeah.
help me with
Yeah.
that, and just
Office
that I'm going to
environment.
be able to be sitting down.
Mhm. So you are with the patellar instability and the overflexibility that you suffer from physically. You have to now decide that not all jobs are for you. That you have to take specific types of jobs that allows you to work and still be safe. Am I correct?
Yes, you are. But
Okay.
with
And
I'm supposed to get surgery. Yes. Yes, Maria.
did you actually go to college?
Oh yeah, I went to college. I went to university, and now I'm doing my MBA online.
Oh, okay.
And
Yes.
what are
That's
you
good.
pursuing in education, Gabby?
Pardon?
What are you pursuing in education?
I just like to learn. It's always giving me new opportunities to broaden my horizon, and it's actually challenging me
And
as
what kind
well.
of career are you looking for?
Ooh,
Like,
that's a
what
good
is your
question.
career goal? Your career
Because
aspiration?
because I was in the hospitality business for the past 5 years or so, and now with COVID, it kind of changed my future a little bit. So
Yeah.
right now, I'm looking for
Yeah,
something
my daughter
more.
too.
Yeah, I'm looking for something more business oriented. So right now, I'm looking for jobs either in human resources or marketing or something like that.
Very good. Very good. And when is I know you said you're having surgery done. Is it going to be done this year?
What is the
Is COVID preventing it from being done?
Actually, no, because the way the doctor explained it, it's not an urgent surgery, but it cannot wait for another year to be done because it just
Okay.
gonna keeps getting worse. So
Mhm.
I'm supposed to get surgery either in January or February of 2021.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
That's
And what's the
exciting.
recovery time for that?
Yeah, that's a
Pardon?
really exciting.
Yeah.
And no, when this all happened, I mean, you were very young. How did your parents take all this? Because, I mean, I know when my 16-year-old gets sick, I'm concerned. I want to know that she's going to get better, that sort of thing. This all happened. You were 16. How did your parents take this?
My parents were, I'm so happy because they were really supportive, but at first they were like kind of wondering what went wrong. Why didn't they look at my knee when I got my ankle injury?
Hmm.
And if someone made a mistake or if they missed some signs that they should have not missed, being like, oh, maybe the knee was not the right place, but we didn't realize it or anything like that. But they've been supportive the whole time. So they know that when I'm hurting, they know I'm not faking. They're not going to be like, oh, you're going to get
Hmm.
better. Like they know I'm struggling. They know I'm hurting. And they know
Yes.
that they need to be careful of like, oh, let's say we're doing a family activity. Well, it's not going to be something that requires a lot of walking or something that's
Hmm.
really physically demanding for my knee. So they're honestly, I can say they're supporting it 100% with that. And even now with surgery, they're really open with it. They know that I'm doing it because it's supposed to help me out, and they're there for me if I need anything. They'll help me out.
Wonderful,
So once you
wonderful.
have the surgery, and you go through the recovery, then you're gonna have to do physio.
Yes. So basically, the way that the doctor explained it is as soon as I get my surgery, the next day I need to be walking just to make sure that my knee still works properly. And
Yes.
from that on, it's going to be physio almost every day just to make sure that I progress normally and I don't have any inflammation or any infections, all of that.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay.
And Gabby, I know you said that the ankle injury it possibly precipitated the knee injury. Tell us about the ankle injury.
So basically, I was doing some tree trekking,
Okay.
and it was during winter and there was no
Yeah,
harness, no
stop for one
helmet.
second. Gabby, would you explain to our viewers what tree trekking is, please,
So
before we?
basically, yeah, it's basically tree climbing and like a certain parkour that you just do in the trees and it's kind of really high up. So it's, for me, it was about 6 feet up, and it's basically just ropes and ladders that you just do to cross the trees. And I fell down because there was some ice
Wow.
up there, and I just fell on my ankle, and it
How far
just
did you fall?
6 feet.
Okay.
And my ankle literally cracked up. I had a centimeter between my bones, so they had to do surgery. But because of the impact on the ankle, it impacted my knee as well. But because I didn't have any pain at the time, they didn't look at the knee.
Mm.
And when did they realize that the ankle injury, you actually injured your knee at that point in time? How many years between the two did they finally went, wait a minute, that ankle?
Almost 2.5 to 3 years.
Wow. So in that 2.5 to 3 years, I'm sure you were in pain with your knees. I'm sure you were complaining. What did you do? Like, did you go to the family doctor? How did you handle all of that? How did your parents handle that?
Well, it was hurting my ankle, so they figured that because my ankle was hurting, it was affecting the knee because everything's kind of related in the leg. And I would go see the family doctor, and every time he was like, "Oh, just do physio, you'll be fine. Do physio, you'll be fine." And he never thought of like having a further look until I fully dislocated my knee, and then he was like, "Oh, well, maybe you should get an MRI done." And that's when they actually kind of took care of the knee. But still, after that MRI, my family doctor misread the MRI, didn't tell me I had edema in my knee. So for 7 years, until maybe 6-7 months ago, I was still struggling, and the family doctor was just saying, "Well, go to physio, let's do physio, you'll be fine, physio." But like, my physio was at a point be like, "I
It
can't
always
help you anymore."
surprises me, but it doesn't surprise me really anymore. How doctors are so evasive at times. Sorry, how
Yes,
they overlook so many little things. And the things that they overlook end up becoming long term problems down the road.
yes.
So this is something that have your family doctor talk to you about it and said, "Look, I'm sorry, I misread your MRI, I overlooked your injury, now I've made it worse." Has he said anything like that?
I know, because with COVID now, I can't barely reach. Well, I couldn't even reach him a lot before COVID, but now during COVID, it's only phone calls. And even since my last injury, I had a phone call with him, and he literally, what got kind of me mad was that I called him. I'm like, "Look, my knee hurts again. Can you do something?" And he literally answered, "What do you want me to do?" And I'm like, "Well,
Wow.
you're my doctor. You should know what to do."
What you want him to do. I'm sorry, I think he went to medical school, not you.
Exactly.
Gabby, can
But
I just take a moment here and just, I am so sorry that you were treated badly by your doctor. I just need to apologize for that. And I apologize because it shouldn't have happened under no circumstances.
No,
So I am sorry
no,
that because you were
young girls have to
ignored
go through
and
all of that.
because you weren't treated properly, you were suffering 7 years later. And I am sorry. That should never happen. I apologize.
well, thank you. To You're actually understanding more than probably most people of like what it's like to live with something that, like, not an injury per se, but like just to know that something's going on. And usually when you're sick, you want a doctor that's qualified to actually help you out,
Yes.
and that's not what I had, unfortunately. So
You
Yeah,
want them to give you the solution.
yes, exactly. But the solution was always physio. And even my physio, that's not a doctor, knew that something was wrong with my knee and that it needed
And the thing is,
medical
sometimes
attention.
what they don't understand is if you don't have the correct physiotherapist, they could be hurting your knee more
Yes.
if they don't
so Gabby,
understand.
Gabby, in hindsight, let's per se there's someone out there listening and watching this video that is just, they know that they're sick, they know that their body is breaking down, they know something is going on, and they're being brushed off by their doctor. Can you give them some advice?
I just need to maybe find another doctor, find someone that's going to be there to listen to them and actually find a solution, because that's what I waited for too long for that to happen. And I kind of regret it now that in the past 6 months, I've had more doctor's appointment for my knee than I had in like the past 7 years, because I found the right doctor that's now there for me and wants to help me and understand my struggles. So I think that the first step is actually to find someone that's going to listen to you and
So
just
at no
not brush
point
it
would they
off.
send you to a knee specialist?
Yeah, so I'm seeing she's actually a sports medicine doctor.
Okay.
And she understands more the articulation of all the bones and all of that. So the first time she saw me, she's like, "Oh my God, I can't believe you waited 7 years before you came to see someone that's like specializing in knees or just
Wow.
anything like that." Because she's like, if you have done treatments prior to that, you wouldn't be where you are at this time.
So Gabby, going back to the advice you want to give other people, first of all, you said, don't wait so long. Find a new doctor, someone that can listen to you and listen to your concerns. So please go on. Tell us what other advice you would give to someone listening who knows that they're not well and they're being brushed off by their doctor. Continue on with that for me, please.
Yeah, and also what I would say is surround yourself with good friends and good family that are going to support you, because that's really important as well. Just to have someone that's there to listen to you and that you can just go and be like, "Oh, those are my issues or those are my problems," and they'll listen to you and they'll help you out to be better as well. And that helps a lot, because I have one of my friend that's actually like that. She's like, "No, you need to go see your doctor. I'm not gonna let you go that way." And she's always there telling me that if I'm sick, just go get fixed, and it's gonna help out. So I think those
Yeah,
are,
support is always a wonderful thing.
yes. So I think that those would be my 3 advice for someone listening. To just find someone, keep going, and having a good support system.
Yeah. And don't wait so long, right?
No, no, don't wait at all. No, as soon as it starts hurting, even though you think it's gonna pass, no, just go see someone. You never
I'm
know.
just surprised they didn't send you to a specialist.
I was stupid. The doctor kept saying that it was just I was growing, so it was not a big issue, and that physio would fix it. That was always his answer, which is not the right answer, as I can see as of now.
Yeah, that's just not right at all.
No.
Um, Now tell me, with your driving, I know you said you want to take the brace off when you get in the car, but you said, I think you said earlier that it's not the best idea. Explain that to me.
Well, it's just because when you drive, thankfully I don't drive standard, I drive automatic, but when you just do the transfer from brake to gas, just that little transfer can just do a impact on the knee. Let's say you need to do a sudden brake or anything like that, it could dislocate the knee because of the impact. So that's why I need to wear it, because actually one time actually I dislocated my knee on a ski trip, and I was the one driving, and I had to drive back from about an hour from my place with a
Wow.
dislocated knee, and it was the worst experience in my life.
Wow.
Can't imagine
And
that.
so, and you still have your driver's license. They haven't pulled your driver's license or questioned it. Am I correct?
No, they did not question it, because it's not a danger, but I'm still being careful with the knee brace. I'm totally fine.
Okay.
But I wouldn't
It's not
drive
affecting others,
long.
but
Yeah.
it's affecting her.
Yes.
Sorry, go ahead, Maria.
No, I was saying that her driving does not affect other people, it just affects her.
Yeah.
So that's why they will not take her driver's license, because it's not going to affect other people. The pain that she's having is her own pain, and she can still drive with the pain. She just has to tolerate the pain.
Yeah. So is there any chance that you could, the pain could be excruciating to the point where you can't brake? Let's per se you didn't put it on one day and you get to the point where you can't brake because the pain is so much you can't even put your feet on the brake. Is that a possibility, Gabby?
It never happened so far, which I'm quite lucky about,
Yeah,
but honestly, it could be a possibility. Let's say if
yeah.
I don't get it fixed or something like that. Yes.
I'm glad you're getting it. Do you have any other piece of information that you want to share with us as we wrap up here? Anything people just need to know about this that you're going through? Anything that you want them to know, or anything you can caution people about? Is there anything you want to share before we wrap up here?
Like I mentioned, even if when it starts hurting, even if you think it's gonna pass or it's not important or anything like that, just go see someone that's qualified and go see someone that can help you with that, because if you just wait too long, that pain can just be worse, and it keeps getting worse, and it's not the best thing to
A
do.
lot of people wait a long time, and we've heard many times people say, "I have a high pain threshold," but there's no point in having a high pain threshold.
Yeah.
The point is, when you're in pain, your body is telling you something is not right.
I agree.
Yes, exactly.
That's what you should be looking into.
Yes.
I agree. Too often, we don't pay attention to that pain. And really, as Maria said, it's really your body saying something's not right and you need to help me fix this, because I've tried to fix it on my own and it's not working. So now I'm giving off the pain signal that I need help,
Yes.
But Gabby, listen, thanks for joining us. I'm glad your surgery is scheduled and that, January is going to come soon enough. I hope you come back and see us and let us know how the surgery went.
Of course.
Absolutely.
I'm going to be saying a little prayer for you that it all goes well and that you come out of that, just amazing and loving your new ligaments.
Yes. Well, thank you for having me, Jen and Maria. It was fun talking with you.
Stay safe.
I'll try. Yes.
And have a good Christmas.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Take care then. Bye-bye.
Okay.
Bye.